Elite Sports and Entertainment Network presents episode 84 of Royally Quacked. How's it
Quack.
going, Wild Wing?
Quack. Let's go, Ducks. Fly together. Yeah.
Uh,
Now, okay.
That was not inspirational, by the way.
Quack. All right. Not gonna lie, wearing this, now I can see why stormtroopers in Star Wars had the worst aim possible. Because I could barely see this thing. But yeah. Let's take that off so I can actually see.
So our good buddy Kevin has pizza bagels in the air fryer and Royally Quacked on the screen. What a way to start the weekend. Love it.
Hell yeah. I love that.
Awesome, Kevin.
It's pizza bagels in the morning. I like that idea. I'm a more of the Tostina pizza rolls kind of guy.
I had a little breakfast bar. That's all I've had to eat so far.
But I mean, what a week for another great week of hockey. At least I got more than just one game to talk about this week.
Yeah, I wish I had less to talk about this week.
Yeah,
it hasn't been an overwhelming, awesome start of the season for Kings fans.
It's I would say it's not hasn't been bad, but there is good things I've been seeing for the Ducks. Like I've noticed already a huge difference between last season and this season, and better, like being better wise, like for the positive. So, do you want to get into the news real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so I guess I'll start. All right, so Beckett Seneca became the 7th youngest player in NHL history to score his first goal in his NHL debut. So it just tells you how well Seneca has been playing. He's, I believe, 4 points in 3 games or 3 points in 4 games? No, sorry. 3 points in 4 games, I believe. I'll have to double check. But he's been playing well. Got in that Seneca, McTavish, and Cutter Gauthier line has just been definitely one of the best lines for the Anaheim Ducks. But we'll get back to that later. And so last November, I remember us doing a report on this podcast saying that the New York Rangers were sending an email out to all the teams in the league saying that Chris Kreider and Jacob Trouba were available. I mean, obviously, we know we got Trouba already that year, but let's take a little flashback to episode 40 of Royally Quacked.
He's good at blocking the view. He's probably one of the best tip.
Oh, let me go
like
back.
No, that's true. So for the first one, according to the Bleacher Report, the Ducks are a potential option for Chris Kreider from the New York Rangers because they're looking. I guess they're looking to shake things up, and I guess him and Trouba are like the top 2.
Kreider's he's a goal scorer. They could use him. I mean, who couldn't use him?
Kreider is someone who I would be very interested in getting for the Ducks, just because, as we believe from a couple episodes ago, the mother-son rant that me and my mom had on here about, like, blocking the view of a goalie. Kreider is someone that's really good at that, and not only good, he's good at blocking the view. He's probably one of the best tipping players in the NHL. Like, he just knows how to redirect pucks into the net. I would say he's one of the top ones.
He's a goal scorer. That's what he is. Yeah.
He's been a 40 goal scorer for many years. So, like I said, I'm shocked that he's even speculated to be on the trade block for one. But like I said, if the Ducks can get him, that would help a lot. I can imagine him on a line with, Zegras or Leo or even Terry.
So, I mean,
Not Zegras.
out of, I'm looking at the notes after, that one, if it happened, what are you willing to give up to get him?
See, I don't know what New York wants back.
They're going to want something serious.
And it wasn't anything serious. It was just a second round pick and Kerry Terrence. And it was a second round pick swap. So I would say good trade so far. I mean, everyone, I don't want to spoil anything too much, but for our game recaps later, but yeah.
Well, there you go.
I called it almost a year ago. So, and then next bit of news, the Ducks attendance for their mask giveaway for the home opener is the most in franchise history at the Pond at 17,622 people. That's 102.6% of the capacity at the Pond. The previous record was set in March of 2013 versus Chicago, and that was 17,610. So we had 12 more fans there. And I can tell you this giveaway, everyone's raving about it online. I've seen it from multiple hockey podcasts, multiple like not just Ducks ones, like people that cover the whole league, and everyone's raving like what a great giveaway, probably one of the best giveaways ever in NHL history, and everything like that. And that's not even talking about the game. So, but like I said, what a great giveaway. Even though you can't really see what you're doing when you're wearing it, but then again, that's just me. But I was excited to get that. Let's see. That giveaway and this week for the Kings has me ready to jump ship to be a Ducks fan.
Kevin.
Boy, come to the Ducks side. Instead of, yeah, come to the Ducks side.
Luke, search your feelings, Luke. Kevin. Sorry, Kevin.
Kevin. But not, and here's what I know a little bit of a spoiler, but the Anaheim Ducks have won their 10th consecutive season home opener. That's the second longest in NHL history, behind the Montreal Canadiens. I believe it was like in the 50s that happened. They won 11 straight. But right now the Anaheim Ducks have the current like active season home opener win streak. And then last bit of news for the Ducks is we have new alternate captains on away games. The players that are wearing the A's is going to be Leo Carlsson and Alex Killorn. And on the home games, and I noticed this pretty much immediately during the player introductions at the home opener, was Mason McTavish and Jackson Lacombe are wearing the A's. So not Terry, not Ryan Strome. And, Ryan Strome has been injured and everything. He still hasn't played yet. But I like that they're going with the youth movement for the leadership. That's telling me a lot already, especially with Leo, McTavish, and Lacombe. I could see those being the three captains in the next couple of years. Like my guess would be McTavish is wearing the C, and Leo and Lacombe are wearing the A's, and within the next few years. And then Quenneville already said that's probably who they're going to keep as the captains, and then they're going to switch. So then McTavish and Lacombe will be the away captains, and then Carlson and Killorn will be the home alternate captains. So, and then that's it for this week's of Ducks news.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of news, right? I got Kings news. But this isn't good news to me. Kings and pending RFA, Brandt Clarke, have yet to enter contract talks per David Pagnotta. Well, we also have Kempe, which, I mean, if you listen to Locked On Kings host Eddie Garcia, he had speculation because the GM for the Tampa Bay Lightning was at the home opener, and then the next night was in Vegas, and he was thinking, oh, maybe. I mean, I think it was speculation on Eddie. I don't think I've heard anything else on the news about it. That maybe it's maybe a sign and trade, and they're going to trade Kempe to Tampa Bay, who obviously could use a player like that. I mean, but you still, if you're going to do that, you have to give up something big. But what it really came down to is the next episode, I believe it was, that on Locked On Kings, he made the comment that he's also the GM for Team Canada and probably was scouting possibly like Doughty and Byfield, who are on the short list of possibles to be on the team. And who knows, maybe he was watching somebody from the Avalanche or Vegas too. You just don't know.
You can tell Kevin listens to our show. Tampa Bay's GM was there to negotiate a bag of pucks for Phoenix Copley. Wow.
Hey, Kevin, you took away my thunder. I was that's the next part of my news, but we'll let you say that instead.
Real quick, while we're speaking of Locked On Kings and Eddie, just want to wish Eddie a late happy birthday. I did text him on Thursday. It was his birthday on Thursday, so happy birthday, Eddie Garcia.
Happy birthday, Eddie.
Yeah,
I did. Guys have not listened to Locked On Kings. It's a definite must.
Yes, and like I said, if you don't like listening to our voices, I don't blame you. But definitely go listen to Eddie. He has such a great voice for that.
Yeah. Well,
and
he has great.
He knows his hockey. He knows.
He does know his hockey. Absolutely.
So I even as a Ducks fan, I listen to Locked On Kings. I haven't listened to it in a while just because I'm still catching up on the ones that I'm listening to and everything. Like I listen to The Sheet, 32 Thoughts, all the other stuff, like kind of staying in tune with everything else. But I'll let you continue with your Kings news.
Yeah.
I just wanted to wish Eddie a happy birthday at least.
I guess payback, right?
Hey, I was wishing Eddie a happy birthday. That's part of Kings news, I would believe.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin, maybe yeah, Cody's taking over the royally of instead of being Quack, so maybe you could be the Quack to his royal.
At least it was royal news, not Quack news. Okay.
Also in the news, and this is not good news, is Los Angeles Kings captain Anze Kopitar is week to week with a foot injury. Believe it was sustained in Minnesota. He was a game time decision the other night, but now it's week to week, and people are already probably going crazy. I think people want Hiller's head. Nobody's impressed with Holland right now. And I got to say, it doesn't look pretty. I mean, I could yell and scream about this, but what good is that going to do to yell and scream? People are upset. The Kings are 1-3-1. They played 5 games. They only have 1 victory, and their stellar defense has been missing in action. They have not played well. I mean, they've been in the games. Don't get me wrong. I think they had at least 2 shootouts. They won one in Vegas. They lost the other one in Minnesota. But obviously, everybody was underwhelmed this year, just like they were last year with the pickups that we had. And honestly, I was last year underwhelmed. But I thought Rob Blake made some great moves. Fogle was very good. I mean, much better than I thought. Edmondson ended up being a good pickup. I mean, but right now, Cody Ceci and Brian Dumoulin are terrible playing defense right now. I mean, I think they're a pretty big minus on 5-on-5 especially. So I don't know. We need to get our act together. Maybe we're gonna do it. I mean, last year I was pretty much 500. I am 1-4 after 2 weeks of the season. Cody is 2-2. I'm not used to being second to him. I'm used to being first. So I mean, if we don't pick it up, it's craziness is going to happen. People are already wanting heads to roll. I mean, we haven't even seen Perry on the ice. I've heard he's been skating and he doesn't have the no contact shirt on. So maybe he's going to be a little quicker back than we thought. And maybe he can bring a spark to this team. The other thing I don't understand is why did they move Deneau up when Kopitar's out? When he's the 3C. Now, maybe I'm missing because I didn't really get to watch these Kings games too much this last week. I was working most of the week. I did watch the Winnipeg game, and I thought they played pretty well. They just lost 3-2. But we need Brandt Clarke. He needs to be at least the third best defenseman in minutes played. I know the Vegas game, I think it was only out there like for 13 or 14 minutes. But I know the reason why is because he's not a penalty kill guy. All the other defensemen are exchanging, playing on the penalty kill. And we were shorthanded 6 times against Vegas. We're lucky we pulled out that shootout victory against them. But there is still good news. I don't want to be just, a downer on the Kings. We've played 5 games, and right now, Quentin Byfield's a point a game guy. He's got 5 points in 5 games. We need him to be doing this. So he's doing some of his share. The only unfortunate thing I think with Byfield so far is his defense hasn't been like it was last year. Excuse me. He's been on the ice when they're giving up goals too many times. He needs to fix that. Clarke needs to play. I mean, he's got 2 points in 5 games, but he was a key guy to help them win against Vegas. So, and obviously that was the first week of games, so we're not going to be talking about that game again.
Why do we? Kevin says, why do we keep falling apart during the second period? We're playing well in stretches, then fall apart during the second period.
Well, they didn't.
Maybe the long change affects them too.
I think they're still trying to find their complete identity. Some of these players are trying to make their games fit into the plan, and it hasn't totally worked yet. Now, that doesn't mean it won't. I mean, sometimes you got to give it time. When you have change, does anybody realize that 25% of the starting lineup was different this year than last year? We have 5 new players, that are in that the starting lineup, meaning there's 20 players that dress to play. And that's Forsberg, even if he's not in net, he's the backup. So he's a starter if need be to come in and play. And you also have both Dumoulin and Ceci. And the one we haven't seen is Perry. Armia's been decent. But like I said, we need to pick it up. We need to start playing. Maybe they're going to do that today. Of course, I think they're playing one of the favorites for the Eastern Conference myself, the Hurricanes. Yeah. They're tough. I mean, that's not an easy victory. Even if you're playing at home, it's not an easy victory. So But that's King's news for the week. Sorry to be the Debbie Downer or whatever you want to call it. But, maybe next week when I'm on here, things have switched around and maybe we're going to talk about some victories.
Yeah, let's hope so.
So on the league news.
Yeah. So Vincent Trocheck of the New York Rangers is week to week with an upper body injury.
So you want to know what's funny? I have Trocheck and I have Kopitar, and they're both out on my fantasy team.
And you're probably the top face-off guys too.
They're two of the best.
Yeah.
And I bet you they're both top 7
Probably. I would say so.
in the league. So that definitely hurts. It hasn't stopped me from rolling though. That's the only good news for hockey for me this week.
Oh yeah, I would. You should not talk about anything about losing players. You're kicking my butt right now in fan. It's like by 100 points.
Sorry, Cody. I told you I was really happy with my draft, but I can tell you where we talked about this before we came on. My goalies maybe a little weak. The rest of my team, I was never happier with a draft than I was. So usually I'm very unhappy, right, Cody?
Yeah. Oh, you're always unhappy.
I'm happy for.
And we're not even talking about hockey. You're just usually unhappy. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you, son.
Anytime.
Love you. I love you too. We'll go back to league news.
Yeah.
Sabres forward Josh Norris will miss at least 8 weeks with an upper body injury.
Man, that guy just can't stay healthy. And so much talent too. There.
And the next bit of news was expected from last week to the next couple of weeks. This was going to happen, Cody. I'll let you, and it's your turn.
So speaking of people taking sweet deals like McDavid and everything, I think this is a really good deal, but the Montreal Canadiens have signed defenseman Lane Hudson to an 8-year, $8.85 million AAV contract extension. They got him under $9 million. That's under what Luke Hughes is getting, under what Jackson Lacombe is getting. And honestly, I'm surprised he signed this contract.
But it's not that much below.
No, it's not. Yeah, like what, 5.15%?
150,000.
Yeah. So,
I guess I'd take it.
Yeah, I mean, I would take the difference between the two a year and be happy. Take the 150K a year. I'll take that. But what a sweet deal this is for both Hudson and the Canadiens. Like, I mean, they have their core locked up for years now. The only person of their core that's not locked up, I believe, is Demidov.
Yeah, I was on the Hockey Princess podcast, and I mentioned this. That what a sweet deal McDavid gave to the Oilers for the next 2 years, because he thinks they could possibly win it in the next 2 years. But what's going to happen if Edmonton falls apart in 2 years? I think there's 2 teams. I mean, 3 teams. I even had 3 teams that he could possibly go to that have a lot of young talent that might come, through. And he would be the guy to lead them to maybe greatness. And one would be the Montreal Canadiens. They have a lot of talent on that team that I think they're going to be a playoff team this year. The Chicago Blackhawks are getting better. But the team that I think is most ready for that in the next couple of years will be
the Canadiens.
No, the Anaheim Ducks.
Oh, I would say it's the Ducks and Montreal. Like, those are like the two. Like,
I think the Ducks are definitely the most young talent.
Yeah, I would say. This is coming from me. I would say it's Montreal and Anaheim.
Yeah, but I think Chicago's coming up too. in 2 years, they're going to, if they're still bad, they're going to have a couple more draft picks. And if they do well with them, I mean, they got some young talent on that team. I mean, their problem is they've been trying to play Bedard in a position I think he's not best for.
Yeah.
I think he would be best to be a winger and not a center, just because he's small. They need to put a bigger center to play with him, and because he can do everything else. Go to his strengths. I know that's not even a Ducks or a Kings information, but it is hockey, and we love hockey. So we're going to go back to the news. I'll get off that high horse. And excuse me, more Canadian news. The Canadians are signing Jeff Gorton and Kent Hughes to 5-year extensions. So
they both deserve that.
I totally agree. They both do. The Canadians surprised everybody last year. They were pretty good and pretty tough to play. Yeah. So, and I think they're even better this year. And Lane Hudson's a big reason why. He's an incredibly young, good, talented defenseman. So,
yeah. I agree with Gary. McDavid to Anaheim would make a ton of sense.
Yeah, well, as much as I would hate to hear it, and then, I could sit there and be Cody for the next 4 or 5 years.
I'm as much as I would love to see McDavid in a Ducks uniform, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, next bit of news is the New York Rangers become the first team in NHL history to be shut out in each of their first 3 home games of a season. You know what the funny thing is about that? So the Rangers have had 3 home games, did not score 1 home goal. The Ducks with Kreider, 1 home game. I'm just talking about just 1 home game. He has 2 goals.
Shouldn't have got rid of him, right? Is that what you're saying? They should have kept him.
I forgot which podcast I was listening to. They were saying that there's now the Bambino curse with Kreider in New York. That's why they can't score a goal at home.
And it's shocking because I thought they'd be better. But then again, I mean, there's another team that's not performing up to what people expected, just like our Kings are. The Rangers are not performing like expected. They have a lot of talent on that team, and they have the goalie who they think is the goalie of goalies.
Yeah. So
now on to more bad news for the Florida Panthers, but they still keep winning.
Yeah.
Dmitry Kulikov is out for 5 months after surgery on a torn labrum. A lot of injuries are happening.
Yep. All right. Jacob Markstrom of the New Jersey Devils is out a couple of weeks with the upper body injury.
My 3rd fantasy player out on injury was
and you're still kicking my butt.
Yeah. And I'm kind of surprised about this next news, but you know what? The rich get richer and the poor have kids, as Mr. Sharp used to tell me in history class. The Vegas Knights have signed goalie Carter Hart to a PTO, professional tryout, and are expected to officially sign him when he's eligible to return from suspension on December 1st. Hart will start. I don't know what's Hart. Hart will start working with the Henderson Silver Knights in the
maybe, and it's fixed.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah. So
heart to heart. It used to be a TV show.
Yeah. I know there was a lot of drama with that, with everything going on with what happened with Hart and the 5 other Canadian hockey players. But like I said, I kind of expected him to go to either like Vegas, a more low key media place. Like I know Vegas is more low key. People were saying like he should have gone to Florida where he could have learned under Bob or even Vasilevsky or something. But I think Bob would have been more of a better one just because, Bobrovsky's, what, 38, 37, 38 and on the last year of his contract. So
Yeah.
you never know. But like I said, I understand all the drama with everything going on. So, but the next up is another more injury news. The Senators captain Brady Tkachuk is set to miss 6 to 8 weeks after undergoing surgery for a ligament issue in his right thumb. God, both Tkachuk brothers are out. That's just
So the whole thing about the Four Nation face-off when they played Canada, and in the first 9 seconds we had 3 fights, and
mm-hmm.
2 of the 3 fights the Tkachuk was in, and now they're both hurt. And I think Matthew got actually hurt in the fight.
No, Matthew got hurt later on. He did like a turn. Like they showed a clip of him like when he felt.
Yeah, but who knows if the fight led to that?
That is true.
I mean, because they were throwing, baby. Those fists were flying. And I know it's exciting for us hockey fans to watch that. But sometimes, we don't want to see guys missing 6 to 8 weeks or 3 to 4 months like Matthew Tkachuk's going to do. It's just been a crazy season. The injuries have been piling up. And this next bit of news perplexes me because let me just say it and then we'll talk about it. Jackson Blake receives the maximum fine of $2,358.94 for his two-handed overhead slash on the Ducks' Jacob Trouba on Thursday night. Maximum fine. Where the hell do they come up with $2,358.94?
It's based off of their contract. It's like a percentage of the contract is that the maximum they could fine a player.
I mean, just make it $2,500. Everybody has to pay for it. Why $2,358.94?
Well, okay, so all right. So say Kaprizov does the exact same thing. $2,500 to him is toilet paper. Probably to him. But to Jackson Blake, someone who hasn't. I mean, he has an 8-year contract already, but I don't think it hasn't started yet. So I think he's still making like his rookie deal. I mean. $950K to 17 million. I mean, 250 or 2,500 is a big difference between those two.
So I've got a proposal. I'm just going to bring it up. I think we should talk to the NHL, and I think Royally Quack should get every fine for stuff like this that happens. We'll be glad to take your toilet paper off of you.
I mean, okay. First of all, we're talking about money. Why? Now, I don't want anyone's toilet paper. Okay, I'll put that out there. There's the the disclaimer.
I think they understood what I meant, Cody.
Hey, I'm putting it out there. You never know nowadays. Okay, I'm putting the disclaimer. We do not want anyone's toilet paper. We want the money. Okay. Disclaimer. But yeah, I think he should have got a game misconduct for that because that was intentional what he did. And I've seen people get game misconducts for a lot less than what he just did.
He did get a major though, right?
No, he only got a 2-minute minor.
So how does he get that? And Alex Turcotte, I know he pushed the guy into the boards, but it wasn't like it was a lot of effort into it. And he gets a 5-minute major, and that guy gets a 2-minute penalty. See, there's where they gotta start fixing this and becoming a little more uniformed on how they're going to dole out the justice to make these players play the game as fair as possible. It needs to be done right because I know, again, Eddie talked about it on on the Locked On Kings. He talked about after he looked at, he thought it was a bogus call. He said when he saw the replays, he understood why they called it because it was into the boards, even though it wasn't as violent. But slashing a guy, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He swung the stick hard.
Yeah, I haven't seen the play. You'll have to show me the play that you're talking about, and then because I don't know which play you're talking about, but Jackson Blake literally like tomahawked.
I think that should be an ejection.
That's what I was saying. It should have been a major. Because I mean, what happens if he hits Truba in the face, or hits anyone and injures? Like, I mean, and he deliberately did it. It wasn't like an accident, or during. It wasn't even during a play. There was, like right by the bench. They always like will push each other or get in each other's way. There's always a little stuff going on right there.
True.
And Jackson Blake literally turned, and then like it was deliberate. You could tell. If it wasn't deliberate, I would have been like, okay, 2-minute minor, I'm good with that and everything. So
I got you.
Yeah, but well, that's it for the league news. You want to ready to get into game recaps?
Sure.
You want to start, or you want me to start?
You got better news than I do. I guess I could start.
All right, go for it. We'll get your sad news over first.
So, first of all, we had one of the toughest starts to the season, playing very talented teams. Colorado at home, Vegas on the road, and then a couple days later we played in Winnipeg. And we ended up being competitive in this game, but they ended up losing 3-2 in Winnipeg. And the Kings, they only gave up a goal in the second period, and had two. So going into the third period, the game was tied. And the one thing that the Kings outshot Winnipeg, the Kings did better at faceoffs than Winnipeg. The killer here again is penalties. The Kings with penalties. They had them in Vegas. They gave up 6 power plays in Vegas, 4 power plays in Winnipeg, and it gave up a goal, and they lost by a goal. Most everything was pretty even, but Winnipeg 28 block shots, the Kings 11. And if I remember right, last year they were pretty good on block shots. So what's the difference here is people aren't giving their all on defense. So, but let's go over the scoring real quick. Ex-King in the first period, ex-King Alex Iafallo scored on the power play. Goal assist by Kyle Connor, and ex-King Gabe Velarde to make it 1-0. In the second period, Mikey Anderson gets his first from Doughty, his second assist, and Adrian Kempe, his second assist, to tie the game 1-1. Then Kempe got his first goal of the season from Kopitar, his third assist, and Kuzmenko, his second assist. And the Kings are up 2-1. But it didn't last maybe a little over 9 minutes to have the lead, and Mark Scheifele, who always seems to kill the Kings, scores his first from Barron, his first assist on a backhanded shot to tie the game. And then at the 11:47 mark of the third period, Scheifele gets a second from Morrissey, his first, and Velarde, his third. Do you think we could have used Velarde instead of having Dubois? I mean, just going to say another little dig right now. I know I'm not yelling and screaming, but I'm a little ticked off at my Kings right now. So that was the game winner. Let's go to the stars. Third star, obviously, Vezina Trophy winner, Connor Hellebuck. was the third star. He had a save percentage of 938. The second star was our own Adrian Kempe, goal and assist for 2 points. And the number one star, obviously, with the game-winning goal and 2 of the 3 goals for the Jets, was Mark Scheifele. So that's how the game ended, 3-2. We were competitive. You know, just we're not winning. I still think we're been at least somewhat competitive, except for the first game against Colorado. We lost 4-1 in that game, but we've been competitive in most of the other games, and that's the game one.
Yeah. So our game one, the Ducks played their second game of the season, and this was at San Jose. What a game this was. So this was a back and forth battle. So in the first period, Tyler Toffoli, ex-King, scores his first goal of the season, and assist from Will Smith and Michael Celebrini. Wow, what a trio they are! He scores on a slap shot to make it 1-0 at the 3:40 mark, and then for the second goal, the sniper himself, Ryan Reeves, gets his first goal since 2023, I believe.
Wow.
Assist from Adam Gaudette and Nick Leddy, and on a wrist shot, which Mrazek should have saved that one. That was a bad goal for Mrazek. So now it's 2-0 at the 11-12 mark, and then Cutter Gauthier gets his first of the season with McTavish and Gudis getting the assist on a wrist shot, and that is at the 11:53 mark. So that 2-0 lead only lasted about 45 seconds. And then Beckett Seneca on the power play gets his second of the year and ties it up at the 15:14 mark on a wrist shot. And McTavish gets his second assist of the game, and Owen Zellberger gets the secondary assist. So now it's 2-2 after 1. Second period, Mario Ferraro gets his first of the year on a wrist shot at the 5:21 mark. Assist from Will Smith and Celebrini. And then at the 6:19 mark, Killorn ties it up with assists from Killorn, and that's Killorn's first goal of the year. So we're tied 3-3 at 6:19. And then former Duck John Kleinberg on the power play gets his first of the year to make it 4-3 San Jose. And then Adam Gaudette on the power play gets his first of the year and makes it 5-3 San Jose. And then just before the second period ends, Chris Kreider on the power play gets his first goal as an Anaheim Duck with assists from Carlson and Terry. So now it's 5-4 after 2. And so we go into the third period, and Jeff Skinner gets his second of the year at the 5:53 mark on a wrist shot. So now it's 6-4 San Jose. And at this point, I'm ready to lose my mind. My hair was going gray. I was so done with this game. I mean, just the penalties and just 6 goals from the San Jose Sharks. And we're going to get to that in a bit too. But let's move on with the scoring. And at the 10:29 mark, Cutter Gauthier gets a tip-in shot to his second of the game. McTavish, his third assist of the game. Seneca gets his first assist of the year. So now it's 6-5 San Jose. And then the Ducks pull their goalie, and with less than a minute left, Chris Kreider gets a second of the game to tie it up on a wrist shot with assist from Carlson and Terry. So now we're tied 6-6. And we're going into overtime. And the Sharks started with the puck. They won the face-off. And I don't know if they actually got a good shot or not, but on the Ducks' very first shot, Leo Carlson takes it up and gets an assist with Granlund, and he scores the game winner in overtime to get his first goal of the year. So the Ducks win this one with 45 seconds into overtime. And on a wrist shot from Carlson, game winner, we go home. Thank you. Finally, that was our first technical lead of the year. Technically. So the Ducks win this one 7-6 in overtime. Shots on goal, 44-23. Face-off percentage, we're still lacking in the face-off percentage. It's 58-42. Power play, 2 for 4. Each team was 2 for 4. Hits 24-20 in favor of Ducks. Block shots 18-12 in favor of San Jose. Giveaways 20-15 in favor of San Jose. And then each team had 3 takeaways. So the Ducks get the first win of the year against San Jose, the division rival. So the 3 stars of the game, definitely not Peter Mrazek. Leo Carlson is the 3rd star. He had 1 goal and 2 assists for 3 points. Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini were the other 2 stars. Will Smith was number 2. Macklin Celebrini was number 1, and they both had 3 assists for 3 points. So, and that's it for our first game of the week.
So the Sharks have 2 of the 3, the top 2 stars, and yet they lost the game.
That's because they're the home team. Which I will say this is one thing I'm happy that the Ducks are staying with. We've had 2 away games, and both times we've worn the orange helmet on the road. So I like that. Let's keep that up.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, our next game was on Monday, the 13th, and we went to Minnesota. And this did not look good to start with. I'll just go right to the scoring. First period, Spurgeon gets on the power play. His first from Johansson is second, and Rossi is third. Rossi's on my fantasy team. Way to go, Rossi. That's the only reason I like that is it gave me some points. Now it's 1-0. Wild. Then the $17 million man, Kirill Kaprizov, got his 3rd on the power play from Buyam and Tarasenko at the 16-13 mark. And it's 2-0. Now that's 2 power. What happened to the penalty kill, boys? It's non-existent right now. And we just keep doing penalties. Not to make it any better for the Kings, but Matt Boldy gets his 3rd on the power play, all in the first period. From Tarasenko his 3rd, and Eriksson Ek his 3rd. So after the first period, it's 3-0 Minnesota. Second period, Kings play much better. They don't score, but neither do the Wild. So now we're going to go to the 3rd period, and this is where it gives you a little bit of hope about the Kings. Kevin Fiala scores his 2nd goal from Armia, his 2nd assist, and Brant Clark, his first at 3:53 mark to make it 3-1. Then, finally, on the power play, Quentin Byfield gets his 2nd from Kempe, his 3rd, and Kopitar his 4th at the 6:22 mark. And it's now 3-2. Then, obviously, with the goalie pulled, the Kings score at the 19-14 mark to tie it. Kempe is 2nd from Byfield, his 2nd, and Doughty is 3rd. So now we go to overtime where nobody scores. Then we go to the shootout, and basically Kaprizov, Kempe, Boldy, Moore, Tarasenko, Fiala all failed. Then, of course, only good news for me is that Marco Rossi scores on the shootout. And then Kuzmenko fails, and the Kings lose in a shootout again. 4-3 in Minnesota, but a nice comeback. 3 goals in the 3rd period to tie the game. At least made it exciting. They did turn the tide and got the momentum their way, but just couldn't finish off the game. So that's game 2 for last week. Cody, go to your 3rd game.
All right. Our 3rd game was, 3rd overall game. Our 2nd game of the week was the Ducks home opener. I mean, I already kind of gave stuff away about this. I was at the game. It was so much fun. I got my new hat. I got to wear my new jacket that my wife bought me for my birthday. The only thing that sucked was like the whole rain situation. I couldn't get out to the orange carpet event, but I'm kind of glad like I didn't, because from what I heard is they made it a lot different this year with the rain and everything. They just made it like one straight line, so it was kind of harder to get autographs and pictures with the players. So but if anyone has the Fan Fest tickets, let me know. I'm interested in that. I would like to try to go to that if I could. But let's go back to the game. So the Ducks host the Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the guy that's going for the Rocket Trophy this year is Justin Brazeau of Pittsburgh. He gets the first goal of the game at 1 minute and 3 seconds in on a tip-in shot, and that's his 4th of the year already. And Evgeny Malkin's going for the what was it? What's the most points? I forgot. already. Rocket is goals. What's the most points?
Hart? No.
No, that's the MVP, really. Anyways, but well, if Evgeny Malkin already has
it should be the Gretzky Award.
Yeah. But Evgeny Malkin already has 6 assists of the season already. So the Pittsburgh goes up 1-0, and then 6 minutes later, former Anaheim Duck Rickard Rakell gets his 2nd of the year assist from Shea and Crosby to make it 2-0 Pittsburgh. And then at the 9:42 mark, Chris Kreider gets his 3rd of the year on the power play assist from Leo Carlsson and Michael Granlund to make it 2-1, and that was on a tip-in shot. A lot of tip-in shots you'll hear on this. And then just before the first period ends, Carter Gauthier gets his 3rd of the year from Pavel Mintyukov and Beckett Seneca to tie it up on a slap shot. That was a great play. Great pass by Minty there across to Cutter to tie it up. So now we're tied 2-2 after 1. And then second period. So it only took us 3 games for the Ducks to get our first lead in the game of the year. Drew Hellison gets his 1st of the year from Chris Kreider to make it 3-2 Ducks, and that was at the 9:48 mark. But that lead did not last long, because at the 17:01 mark, Anthony Mantha gets his 1st of the year. So now we're tied 3-3 after 2, and the whole third period is back and forth. You know, everyone has their chances. And then with about, 1 minute and 45 seconds left, I forgot the player's name, but one of the Pittsburgh players, when he went to I can't think of the word, to dish the puck out of the defensive zone, he threw it over the glass. Delay of game penalty. And sure enough, the Ducks go on a power play with 1 minute and 45 seconds left. And and at this point, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, the Ducks are going to score the game winner right here. And I'm going to let this video do the rest, because this is like literally right after the face-off.
Number 28.
Looks to me like Chris Kreider likes being an Anaheim Duck. So he gets his 4th of the year. Yep. So he gets 2 in 1 game, and that was the game winner, and that was assists from Troy Terry and Leo Carlsson. I would have had it right at the faceoff, but then they dropped the puck, and you know how they always reset, and then I couldn't get my camera going back up in time, so I missed the faceoff, but that was the gist of the play. But what a way to win and everything. like I said, the 10th consecutive home opener win, the most in active right now. So I'm happy that they won when I was there. I can't. It's usually the Ducks usually don't win when I'm there. So, and I'm happy about that. They finally won a game at home when we were there. So, what a great way to win. You know, got my mask. I got to talk to DJ JoJo. Met a lot of great people. Saw Kyle from Locked On Ducks and everything. I didn't get to see Trent because I think they had their own 21st Duck thing. So it sucks because I wanted to say hi to Trent. But hopefully the next time I go, I'll be able to see Trent and everything, and we get another win the next time I go.
Art Ross Trophy, Cody.
Art Ross, thank you. And here's the
You're
3
welcome.
stars of the game, real quick. Hellising is the 3rd star of the game with the 1 goal. Cutter Gauthier with 1 goal is the 2nd star. And of course, your number 1 star with the game winner with 2 goals and 1 assist, Chris Kreider.
Excellent. So on to the 3rd game for the Kings. Finally back at home at Staples Center. And we're obviously playing the Penguins after they were disappointed losing to the Ducks. And this really actually started off like I was thinking, okay, we're finally getting it together. So start off the scoring, Warren Fogle with his first from Trevor Moore, his first, and Cody Ceci, his first. So it's nice to see some other names in the scoring column for goals and assists. Then in this also in the second period, Kevin Fiala got his 3rd from Byfield, his 3rd, and Armia his 3rd to make it 2-0 at the 9:04 mark. So going into the second period, it is 2-0 Kings, and it was looking good. Then, obviously, as Cody said, Evgeny Malkin on the power play gets his first from Rust, his 2nd, and Carlson his first at the 6:37 mark, and it's now 2-1. And then Connor Dewar, less than a minute later, scored his first from, I don't even know how to say this, Akaria, and Shea. Shea got his 4th assist. Akaria's first, tied it up 2-2. And the Kings just kind of fell silent after the first period. In third period, Hollander scored his first from Raquel, his 2nd, and Wotherspoon, his first. And then Sid the Kid got an empty netter at the 19:29 mark from Wotherspoon, his 2nd, and Carlson, his 2nd. And that's how the score ended, is the Kings lose to the Penguins 4-2. And I can't remember the last time I remember them beating the Penguins. We just don't play well against them. We outshot them 32-26. And what amazed me is this stat. If anybody knows anything about Sid the Kid, he's probably one of the best face-off guys in NHL history. Kings won 61% of the face-offs to 39.
Wow.
Then again, Pittsburgh was 1 for 2 on the power play, and the Kings were 0 for 2. The Kings out-hit them 23-13. But again, our block shots were, I think, weak. It was only 10. And the Penguins had 15. Giveaways was 16 for the Kings, 15 for the Penguins. Takeaways, 3 Kings, 0 for the Penguins. Again, we lose 4-2. Let's go to the 3 stars of the game. Fogle was the 3rd star with a goal. Sheilofs, the goalie, the kid from Vancouver that they picked up, was the 2nd star with a .938 save percentage, and then Hollander was the number 1 star with a goal. And that ended our week with the Kings going 0-3, me going 0-3.
All right, so on
not a happy Kings fan.
So on to our last game of the week. The Ducks host the Carolina Hurricanes, and I can tell you this: the Carolina Hurricanes, they look good. It didn't look like boring hockey to me how they were playing. But Seth Jarvis gets his starts the scoring off in this one, his 4th of the year, and Shane Gostisbehere gets his 4th assist of the year, so that the Canes lead 1-0 after 1, and that was at the 14:54 mark. In the second period, on the power play, Seth Jarvis gets his 2nd of the game. So we're on hat trick watch. Seth Jarvis scores with Jackson Blake getting assist and Gostisbehere again getting the assist. So it's 2-0 Carolina at the 10:22 mark. And then Leo Carlson gets his 2nd of the year, 1st of the game, from assists from Killorn and Hellison to make it 2-1 at the 11:32 mark. And then after that, there was really nothing much after that for the Ducks. In the third period, they gave up just another first NHL career goal. Alexander Nikishkin gets his 1st of the year, so now it's 3-1 Carolina. And Gostisbehere again with another assist. And then one more goal from Sebastian Aho and assist from Seth Jarvis. So now it's 4-1 Carolina, and that will be your final. The Ducks, like I said, they didn't look bad. Carolina just looked better in this game. That's how I would probably say it. Much better on the face-off this game. We won at 58-42. Shots on goal. Carolina had 32. We had 24. 0 for 4 on the power play. Just Carolina's power play, just it looks really good, and they just shut you down and everything. Like I would say, like they have probably one of the best defense. I think they were number 1 in the penalty kill last season as well. So, and they had almost the exact same people coming back. But we had 31 hits to Carolina's 19. Each team had 16 block shots. Carolina had 22 giveaways. We had 15, but Carolina had 4 takeaways and we had 1. So Carolina takes game 1 of the season series 4-1. And then your 3 stars of the game. Wow, I'm actually shocked that Gostisbehere is not on here. Alexander Nikishin is the 3rd star with his 1 goal. Leo Carlson is the number 2 star with 1 goal. And then Seth Jarvis is the number 1 star with 2 goals and 1 assist. And we're talking about a guy that had 1, 2, 3 assists in this game. Shane Gostisbehere had 3 assists, and he's not even one of the 3 stars.
That's a travesty.
Yeah. By the way, and we almost had a goalie goal in the, or not goalie goal, a goalie fight in this game. So we had a lot of penalty minutes at the end of the second period. I'm going to read off the penalties real quick. Frederick Anderson gets 2 minutes for goalie leave crease. Lukas Stolstall got 2 minutes for goalie leave crease. Keandre Miller, 2 minutes for roughing and removing opponent's helmet, Mason McTavish. Mason McTavish gets 2 minutes for roughing Logan Stakehoven, and Logan Stakehoven gets 2 minutes for roughing Mason McTavish. So yes, we did end up getting a power play out of that. The only reason why Dostal even left his crease is because Freddie Anderson left his crease first. It took attend the fight, and Lukas was like, "Well, if you're leaving, I'm leaving," and I like that. So I wouldn't say it was almost a goalie fight, but that one when the game that we went to with the Ducks Kings one. That one was a lot closer to being a goalie fight than this one was. So
yeah, well, Gibson would have got an instigator penalty because he was the instigator on that one.
What was he though? Copley punching Vetrano? That is an instigate with the blocker. That's
and he got kicked out of the game for it.
Yes, but that's not an instigator is I mean, who knows what instigator
he goes to the red line and starts tapping his stick. Come on out of here.
So Fleury that same year went all the way across and said, let's go. And he didn't get an instigator.
Should have.
No.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I forgot to mention in the home opener when we were at the game. We got before we went back to our seats, they were already playing. And I went up to the usher. I was like, I'm so jealous of the job you have. You get paid to sit here and watch the Ducks play. So he's like, well, you want to do it? And I was like, I would love to. So I got to tell people to not go to their seats while they were in play. And then after the goalie made the save, I made sure we were stopped. And then I let everyone go back to their seats. And then I did too. So I thought that was I had a little fun with that. I mean, can you not say that's not me, though?
No, I can't say that.
You're not shocked one bit, are you?
No, not at all.
So, all right,
You know
now
what I am shocked about?
Huh.
I haven't seen one comment from Captain Chaos today.
I know. That
I
is
wonder.
shocking.
I hope he's not sick or something.
Well, I mean,
Maybe he's
one of-
playing.
I do have a mask, and it's funny because he messaged me at the game. He's like, I'm so jealous you get a mask. And I was like, and it's funny because Christina was like, I don't even want mine. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. And I was gonna do a giveaway, but then I told Adam he can have it. But then I met up with DJ Jojo. He gave me an extra mask. This actually will lead to our little giveaway. So I'm gonna do a giveaway. I'll announce the winner next week. So I do have an extra Wowing mask, and all you got to do is you have to follow Royally Quacked, and you have to follow the Mighty Ducks Club on Instagram, and I'll do a post. You have to tag 3 people in the post, and I will select a winner next week.
Sounds
So,
good.
It's simple. You have to follow 2 accounts and tag 3 people on the post. And you cannot tag me on my personal. You can't tag my dad's personal, and you cannot tag the Royally Quacked account. No, you have to tag 3 different people.
3 new people.
3 new people.
There we go. All right. Sounds good.
So I wanted to get that out there. I'll try to do a post about that later. So let's do game predictions.
Let's do it.
So I'll let you start because you said you want to do something a little different this time.
Well, yeah. I'll explain after I'll give all 3 of my games here pretty quickly. We are playing the Hurricanes tonight, and I think the Hurricanes possibly could be in the Cup from the East. They're that good. And I have them beating the Kings tonight, 5-2. So a loss tonight against the Hurricanes, 5-2. They're pretty good. Then on Tuesday, we are in St. Louis playing the Blues. I'm going to predict that we'll lose that game 4-3. Then Thursday, we're going to play the Dallas Stars. And I'm predicting we'll lose that game 5-2. Now, you're going, why the negativity, Gary? I'm going, well, last week I picked them to win all 3 games and we lost. So this time I'm picking them to lose all 3 games so we will win them. That's what I'm going to do.
All right.
And-
I like your thinking.
Drop the mic.
All right. So the Ducks play tomorrow. We start a 5-game road trip. I believe this is tied for the longest road trip of the year. So we start tomorrow in Chicago. It's funny because when they were talking about this yesterday on the Late Arrivals podcast, and everyone knows my hatred for the Chicago Blackhawks, and I predicted an 80-0 win for the Anaheim Ducks, but I was just joking. But I'm being realistic. I'm predicting a Ducks win, and I'm gonna guess the score is gonna be 5-2.
So you were on Late Arrivals again?
No. I was just I was watching. Kyle Carr was on Late Arrivals last night.
Oh,
So I wanted to tune.
Awesome.
I was watching live and commenting, and I was kind of like their captain of chaos. Yeah,
okay.
not as bad as nobody can be Adam captain of chaos though. He takes the cake on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm predicting a 5-2 win in Chicago to start the road trip. And then on Tuesday, we go over to Nashville And I'm predicting a 4-2 win in Nashville for the Anaheim Ducks. And then to end the week, I believe that's the last game before our next podcast. On game is it number 7, the Ducks will be in Boston, and I'm actually predict a 4-3 loss against Boston. Boston looks sneakily good right now. So
They have been playing well.
scary.
Well.
Yeah, so I'm predicting a 4-3 loss on that one.
Okay, so
So prediction wise, what are our records right now?
I'm 1-4.
Okay,
You're 2-2.
I'm 2-2.
Yeah.
Okay,
You went
Which
2-1 this week, and
because I think I got the Carolina game right, and then I got the Pittsburgh game right.
actually, I think you went 3-0.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought I predicted that Carolina would beat the Ducks.
So I lied. You're 3-1.
Did-
Way to go! Somebody's got to be good at it in the family.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because
I'm sorry.
I thought I predicted the Ducks would beat Seattle, and I was wrong. And I was like, wait, which game did I get wrong? Because I knew the Ducks would. I predicted
Yeah,
the
you
Ducks
went
would beat the
3-0.
Sharks.
I went 0-3. A total reversal of the way it went last year.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I can make a comeback.
Well, there was at one point of the year that I was making a little bit of a comeback, but it didn't last long.
Yeah, well, the Kings were much better, at least so far, than they last year than they are this year. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I really could care less if I win that. I want the Kings to win first. So if I went 0-82 and the Kings are winning and make the playoffs, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
So just gonna say that.
So, do you have any after the first, we'll say, 2 weeks of the season? How are you feeling about our division standings predictions and playoff picks? I know it's still really early to tell, but how are you feeling about it so far?
I feel like a lot of it I'm missing the boat on right now.
Yeah, like I said, I know it's still really early.
I mean, Vegas is up there. I'm trying to remember. I know the Kings are like 3rd from the bottom.
yeah.
Um,
Another question. So I'm on Doppler Hockey or Dauber Hockey. That's what the 32 Thoughts people were saying, like for like line combinations and stuff like that. For the Kings defense, you want to know who has the best or who's given up, which defensive pair has given up the most goals?
Doughty and Anderson.
That's one of them. Yes, they've given up 5, and there's another pair that's given up 5. And I'm pretty sure you might be,
CC and Dumoulin.
yeah. So, but now here's the thing. Doughty and Anderson, yes, they've given up 5 goals, but they've also,
on the penalty kill. Most of them on the penalty kill.
I don't know. I can always do even strength and see how that is. But no. So yes, they have given up 5 goals, but they've also helped 4 goals for.
Right. So they're
really
minus
-1.
Right.
The CC and Dumoulin, 5 goals against, 0 goals for. So they're a -5.
Right. I knew that was happening already.
Yes. So I was like, not a very good pair. I haven't looked at the Ducks one yet. Let's see, Ducks generate report.
Right now, if I was Hiller, I would move Dumoulin to play with
Clark.
and then Edmondson to play with CC.
Yeah.
And I think that might solidify it a little bit because I think Dumoulin is a little more offense. And so you have your second pair would be a little more offensive. And that might put more pressure on the team and they might be able to get more penalties and maybe actually score some goals. And then Edmondson can solidify how bad CeCe's been because I think he's been the worst
All right.
of all the defensemen on the
L-
Kings.
Last question. I'm going all over the place with these things. You want to guess who the top 5 power plays are currently?
I would be guessing because I don't know.
Okay.
I'm guessing because you're asking the question. The Ducks are in there.
The Ducks are number 5 at 26.7%. But wait till you hear who the other 4 are. Like one of them, you will not. You would not expect. The other 3, yeah, you would expect to be there.
well, see, I'm trying to think. Edmonton's always pretty good, but
Edmonton's not even top 10 right now. They are number 12.
Colorado.
Colorado is number 24.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. God, no.
Well,
they're
that's just
15th. They're 15th. All right, I'm going to tell you this. All West teams.
all West or
West
Pacific?
Conference. All
Oh,
West.
sorry.
There's 2 Central and 2 Pacific that are left.
Minnesota would be up there.
Minnesota's number 1 at 43.5%.
Okay. Vegas.
Vegas is number 4 at 28.6. So you now need number 2 and number 3. 1 Pacific, 1 Central.
Pacific. Well, didn't you say the Ducks were
Number
4?
5. I'm
Oh,
saying
5.
the 2 teams left, number 2 and number 3. One's a Central, the other one's Pacific.
Let me think. Winnipeg?
No, Winnipeg's number 7 at
Oh,
25%.
that's close. Dallas?
Dallas is number 2 at 38.5%. Now you just need number 3, and it's a Pacific team. And I remember I gave you a big hint. Someone that you would not expect to be there.
San Jose.
San Jose at 31.3%.
Yeah, they got there'd be another team that McDavid could go to.
No,
They've got a lot of number 1
no,
picks.
it's either Anaheim or stay in Edmonton. Or go east.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to leave
I don't think so. either.
Edmonton unless they just totally completely fall apart.
Yeah.
That's what I truly believe. So,
Yeah.
all right,
All right. Well, are you ready to get out of here?
I am.
I know you're tired of talking about this week.
Well, it's been a busy week, anyways.
Yeah.
So with work and so forth, and but you know it can change in a moment. Maybe they'll shock me and beat the Canes tonight. I would be excited at that.
Yeah. Freddie Anderson he looked good the other night. But like I said, I don't know who their backup is, but I mean they already had 2 days off, so I could see Anderson going back in. But all right, well, if we're gonna get out of here, that's gonna be a wrap of week 2 of the regular season of Royally Quacked. I hope you had as much fun as we did, because I know I had fun this week, and I know you didn't have as much fun this week.
That's okay.
But
I had fun. It didn't
I know.
involve the Kings.
I understand. But if you enjoyed it, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, follow us on Twitch, and download all the episodes on podcast. And if you like what you're hearing or seeing, don't forget to leave a review or rate us. We'd really appreciate that too. If you leave a review, I will read it on the podcast live and everything. Like I said, I know there's a lot of people that are watching our reels and stuff like that. You're not following us or subscribed, so change that. Let's flip it. I want more people that are watching our stuff are subscribed. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Follow us on all social media. If you want to talk to us on there, I'll post the game day stuff, the reels, and everything like that. Follow us on there. We appreciate it. If you have any questions, DM us on any social media, and I will reply back. Don't forget to join our Discord. I believe everything's down in the show notes. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, don't forget to like the podcast too right here. Hit the like on subscribe and on YouTube. So on
Please.
that, let's go Ducks.
And go Kings go. See you next week, guys.
A father and son, a bond so strong, talking hockey all day long. Royally Quack, their podcast show, sharing stories, highs and lows.